So, horse training is full of breakthroughs and disappointments and unfortunate events. And I want you to see this exciting video where I'm riding Macaroni. This is her second ride, and it is bridleless. And both actually her first and second rides are bridleless. But I want to talk about some of the things that led up to this. And I want to talk about something that I'm struggling with training Macaroni. And it is not something that happens every day, but it's something I feel. I feel doubt. My voice sounds weird, not because I'm about to cry, but because I actually have some laryngitis and actually can't talk, so you'll have to forgive that. But I want to show you what has led up to this point, but only in part. So actually, the reason I can't show you the first ride, though I videoed it, is because my hard drive crashed, and I have lost a good portion of the footage from the beginning of the training. But that's not what this is about. I wanted to train Macaroni differently. I wanted to have this amazing relationship, to be different from the other trainers, because that's my personality, is to be different. But I'm filled with doubt. I'm filled with the idea that am I not good enough to do this? Am I not doing a good enough job with Macaroni? And it doesn't matter what horse you have, what job you have, at some point you're going to have doubt. And it doesn't matter how many of your friends encourage you and tell you you got this. And my friends have been my best supporters here. And I've had such positive feedback, but it doesn't stop the feeling that I'm not going to be able to do a good enough job with this horse. It's probably not true. The fact that I'm doubting, it doesn't mean that it's what's going to happen. And one thing I love about this section here of training is I was training Macaroni using clicker training to touch her head into my hand because she started out incredibly head shy and ear shy even before she came to me. So she's learning to really bring her head to me and ask for that physical touch. And it's amazing. And every step forward we take is a huge reinforcer for me that we're going on the right path. But I wonder, those 100 days are getting eaten up quickly. And here I am, volunteering my photography skills at a place 5 hours away from home. They'll be gone for a week. It's another week I won't have training Macaroni. And doubt is so natural to the fallen, sinful human nature that we have right now. And you're going to face it at some point. But whether you get hurt on your horse and you're not sure if you can get back on, or you doubt your abilities, realistically or not, it doesn't matter. That doubt, that fear is so pervasive in our life. And I would have told you I'm not afraid at all of training her. But I am. When I first tried to get on her, I got very afraid. She did nothing wrong. And I don't know that I did anything wrong, but that fear was there. And so, as you watch this journey with Macaroni, see the huge progress that this horse makes, see the challenges we overcome, and see that I'm a normal person, that I had doubt and fear associated with this horse, even though I never got hurt and she never did anything wrong. But that could still happen. And I doubted my ability to do this horse justice. And I don't want this doubt and fear to paralyze you. I want you to try to be like me, to work through it. And there's many different ways of doing this. There's not a right and a wrong way. But I want you to see that you can learn and you can get past all those fearful things if you're willing to admit that that fear is there and then work through it and keep trying and ask for help. One thing I want to mention right here is I'm going to put up my friend's logo, Michelle, and her horse training. She's now going to be working with me virtually, doing virtual lessons. She lives in Florida and I live in Illinois, and she's going to be helping me using virtual lessons. And she offers these for sale on her website. And a huge shout out to her because I love her training techniques, and she's so quick to help people, and I just love working with her. So check out Michelle, whether you have horses, zebras, dogs, any kind of animals. She works with them all, and is phenomenal and not judgmental, and has been where you are. And she's been where I was at, where I didn't know all the targeting stuff that I needed to know to make as best progress as I could. But I feel so empowered and so confident to go forward that I'm going to make mistakes, but I'm going to have someone there to help me get through them and to help me continue. So now that I've got that spiel out of the way, let's go ahead and look at the training from last week. where we were outside. We're now at home in Winslow, Illinois, and we're getting close to riding.
There you go. That's a good girl.
So,
Ready? Let's go.
we're working on walking together. Working on walking together, and my goal is to really encourage her to take that step with me, that first step, that first lean forward that she has, and praise her
Back.
for that. Also working on backing up, asking a variety of steps. Lean back,
Back.
asking with just a verbal cue.
All right, well,
So we
do
switched
this.
from working on the back to working on hip over. So I am not pushing on her.
Hand on the hip. Air of expectancy.
I want her to
Like
move
that.
over, and I'm going to
Turn.
click for the slightest shift.
Yes.
And it happens the first time when
Not
she
doing anything
turns
with
her
my
head
target.
toward me.
Air of expectancy.
She leaned her hip.
Yes.
Click. I just rest my hand there. And wait. I'm not doing anything with my target. She takes a couple bites of grass, but then moves her hip a little bit.
Ripkin, no. Yes, good girl. Good girl.
And
I should have done that sooner. Okay.
the basic idea is that
Air of expectancy. Step away.
this hip over has nothing to do specifically with
Oh,
saddling.
I know it's a little muddy there, isn't it? Good girl.
But once we got outside,
Good.
we
Are you ready?
struggled
Let's go.
with the connection.
Good.
The arena was much easier for us. So I need to do high rates of reinforcement
Okay, so
and make it very
Ripkin.
easy for her.
No.
My dog is not supposed to be out there, so we fix that for the next training session. She's eating again. I just wait. I'm not pushing harder.
Air of expectancy. Step over.
I'm talking to myself.
She
leaned a little bit. And this is what I was struggling with, is really breaking down what I wanted. And there she stepped over super nicely.
Would you like to go? Let's go.
So I'm trying to click that first step forward when she walks off nicely with me. If she doesn't, I'm just going to come back.
Ready? Let's go.
And I try to use my hand and my body language and all be like, okay, now we're going to walk forward in just a sec. Are you ready? So that she can walk forward as soon as I do. And there I waited it for a couple of steps before I clicked. Again, clicking for the lean. She didn't take a step that time. There's a step sideways. Just barely touch. There's a step sideways.
Good. Well done. Let's go. Well done. Well done.
Now we'll do the riding part, which is a different day.
There's not even any fly spray with
So
me.
I'm carrying the mounting block over.
Come here. Good girl. Good girl.
I dropped the mounting block and I wanted to see what she'd do. So I'm still learning on how to have good cues, whether she should touch the target or just follow it. So we're working on some of that. This is from a little earlier this week because, again, as I said, currently I am out of town.
This side.
There she followed the target and moved her hip toward me. Click for that. This is our second ride.
Good.
Our first ride was last week on Thursday.
Shoulders too.
And it was great.
Girl.
We just sat, we walked a couple steps, turned, stopped, and I got off. It was very anticlimactic. It was wonderful. This is our second ride. She has no tack on her at all.
All right.
And there's definitely a little bit of fear, but she's acting so calm. I thought it was a great choice to get on her and see how she does. Keep in mind, you can't see it because it's all from my POV or point of view. I am wearing a helmet. I want to be really safe. I wear a helmet almost every time I ride, unless I'm doing something with a costume. So I'm clicking and rewarding for me just putting my leg on her, and I'm paying attention to make sure she's calm. Now I'm actually sitting on her. I click, give her a treat, which she takes very nicely.
Here you
have her touch the target, which she loves. And I'll get off. And I'll get all the way down. And I'm paying attention to her attitude. If she was to get very nervous about this, I would not continue getting on and off. Ask her to touch, to back up a step. Right there, she backed up, and I clicked and rewarded. We're also working on making that better from the ground, so it's better under saddle. Have her follow the target and touch it. And I will be transitioning to trying to teach her to understand follow and touch are two different cues with the target. I also want to say that we actually don't know that this horse has ever been ridden. There, she took a step. I clicked and rewarded for that. So the fact that I'm riding bridleless, most people are freaking out about, going, how could you ride this horse bridleless in a big area? You could get hurt. Well, I could get hurt. She could buck. She could run away.
Good.
And my goal was to keep it calm. If she started to get nervous, my goal would be to get off and work on easier stuff. She actually decides here that she's going to eat a little bit, which I'm okay with. See, when her head is down, she's relaxed. So I took the target away and I'm just sitting there.
I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing that you're eating. Yeah.
She's like, no, I don't want to touch it. And this is different because we haven't had much of this. It's not like it's an issue, but this distraction of the grass hadn't been an issue before, and now she would rather eat than get rewarded, which is okay. It's, again, part of it I wanted to tell you is that we're still struggling with some of these things, but we're making progress.
I want you to touch. All right.
And so I said, you know what, that's all right. I'm going to get down, and we're going to end there because that was a really good session where I sat on her, and everything was good. And so the next time I go, I'm home, I'll hopefully get on her and do the same thing. I'll just sit on her, and we'll walk around the pasture, and she'll eat some grass.
Good girl.
And it'll be wonderful. And I'm super excited to do that, maybe starting next week. But I wanted to give you this update and see what it looks like right now. And having the first couple rides bridleless is amazing. I've never done that before, and I'm super excited about continuing with Macaroni. Don't forget, she's available for adoption at the end of the 100 days. Sign up now, and you'll be able to work with this amazing horse as well.